Hello friends. Today we're diving into the character of Sagittarius in marriage, not as a dry horoscope cliché, but as a living, breathing portrait of a person who loves fiercely, thinks freely, and refuses to live a small life. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, the planet of expansion, truth, and meaning, and this influence is deeply felt when it comes to long-term partnership. Marriage with a Sagittarius is not just a union of two people. It's a shared journey, a philosophy, and sometimes a beautiful challenge. Below is a detailed, professional exploration of Sagittarius in marriage, broken into 7 meaningful points. After watching, if you'd like to support the channel, click the Thanks button right under this video or use the donation alerts link in the description. Your support really helps me keep creating. And of course, if you enjoy the content, please give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks so much for being here. Now let's continue. Sagittarius as a marriage partner, the eternal explorer. Sagittarius approaches marriage not as a final destination, but as the beginning of a lifelong expedition. This sign does not rush into commitment blindly or impulsively, despite its reputation for spontaneity. When a Sagittarius chooses marriage, it is the result of deep internal conviction that the relationship holds promise, meaning, and room to grow. They are guided by a belief in potential for shared evolution, shared truth, and shared expansion. For Sagittarius, marriage must feel alive. It must breathe, stretch, and evolve alongside the people within it. Anything static or rigid quickly feels unnatural to them, like wearing shoes that no longer fit. As a marriage partner, Sagittarius brings an unmistakable sense of optimism. They naturally expect the best, not only from life, but from the union itself. Even during difficult periods, they tend to look beyond the present struggle and focus on what lies ahead. This future-oriented mindset can be incredibly stabilizing for a partner who feels overwhelmed or discouraged. Sagittarius has an almost philosophical faith that challenges exist to be learned from, not to define the relationship. They often act as the emotional compass pointing toward hope when others might give in to doubt. Curiosity is one of the most defining traits Sagittarius brings into marriage. They are genuinely interested in their partner as a person, not just at the beginning, but throughout the years. They want to understand how their spouse thinks, how they see the world, how their beliefs change over time. A Sagittarius partner asks questions not out of suspicion, but out of fascination. They see their spouse as an ever-unfolding story rather than a finished chapter. This curiosity helps keep the marriage dynamic, preventing emotional stagnation and complacency. Marriage, to Sagittarius, must feel like an adventure rather than an obligation. They resist the idea that commitment equals confinement. Instead, they envision marriage as two individuals choosing to walk the same path while still remaining whole and independent. A Sagittarius spouse wants freedom within the bond, freedom to explore ideas, passions, and personal growth without fear of judgment or restriction. When this freedom is respected, they give loyalty willingly and wholeheartedly. When it is threatened, they may withdraw emotionally, not out of cruelty, but out of self-preservation. Growth is a non-negotiable element for Sagittarius in marriage. Emotional growth allows them to feel connected and authentic. Intellectual growth keeps them engaged and stimulated. Spiritual or philosophical growth gives the relationship a sense of purpose beyond daily routines. They thrive when their partner is open to learning, evolving, and questioning life alongside them. A stagnant relationship feels lifeless to Sagittarius, while one that encourages mutual development feels sacred. Sagittarius is happiest when their partner is not only a romantic companion, but also a fellow traveler in discovery. They want to share experiences that expand perspective, traveling to unfamiliar places, learning new skills, meeting diverse people, or simply exploring new ways of thinking. Even within the home, they crave conversations that stretch beyond the mundane. Discussions about beliefs, dreams, morality, and the meaning of life often form the emotional backbone of a Sagittarius marriage. Enthusiasm is one of the greatest gifts Sagittarius offers in marriage. They bring a lively, uplifting energy that can brighten even ordinary days. Their laughter is often spontaneous and infectious. They know how to find humor in situations that might otherwise feel heavy or stressful. This does not mean they avoid seriousness, but rather that they refuse to let seriousness extinguish joy. Their presence often reminds their partner that marriage can be fun, playful, and lighthearted without losing depth. Sagittarius also carries a strong belief that everything will work out, and while this may sometimes seem naive, it often proves powerful. This mindset helps them navigate uncertainty with grace. In marriage, this belief can create emotional safety, as their partner senses that Sagittarius will not give up easily when challenges arise. They tend to view obstacles as temporary, trusting that honesty, effort, and time will lead to resolution. Spontaneity plays a significant role in how Sagittarius expresses love. They are often the spouse who suggests an unplanned road trip, a last-minute dinner date, or a sudden change of scenery. These gestures are not attempts to escape responsibility, but expressions of their desire to keep the relationship vibrant. For Sagittarius, spontaneity is a way of saying, "I want to keep choosing you in new ways." Late-night conversations are another hallmark of marriage with Sagittarius. They are natural philosophers, drawn to conversations that wander through memories, hopes, fears, and theories about life. These moments of deep dialogue are often where Sagittarius feels most emotionally connected. They may not always express affection through constant reassurance, but they express love by sharing their inner world openly. Routine, however, can dull the spirit of Sagittarius if it becomes too dominant. While they understand the necessity of structure and responsibility, excessive predictability can slowly drain their enthusiasm. When every day feels identical, they may begin to feel disconnected, restless, or uninspired. This restlessness is not a reflection of their love diminishing, but of their inner need for stimulation going unmet. A marriage that becomes overly rigid or repetitive may feel suffocating to Sagittarius. They require movement, not chaos but progression. Small changes, new goals, or shared projects can make a profound difference in how fulfilled they feel. Without these elements, they may struggle internally, questioning whether the relationship still aligns with who they are becoming. It is important to understand that Sagittarius does not seek constant excitement for its own sake. What they truly seek is meaning. Movement and inspiration are necessary because they help Sagittarius feel aligned with their purpose. When marriage supports this alignment, they become deeply devoted, generous, and emotionally present. At their best, Sagittarius as a marriage partner embodies hope, wisdom, and expansive love. They encourage their spouse to dream bigger, think broader, and live more authentically. They challenge limitations not out of rebellion, but out of faith in what is possible. Being married to a Sagittarius means accepting that love is not static. It is a journey that unfolds through exploration, honesty, and shared vision. Ultimately, Sagittarius offers a marriage that feels alive. It is a partnership shaped by curiosity, guided by optimism, and sustained by the belief that life, and love, is meant to be experienced fully. When given room to grow and freedom to explore, Sagittarius becomes not only a loyal spouse, but an inspiring companion for the long road ahead. Emotional style in marriage, honest to a fault. Emotionally, Sagittarius operates from a place of radical sincerity. Their inner world is not filtered through layers of caution, manipulation, or strategic silence. What they feel tends to move directly from the heart to the mouth, often without detours. In marriage, this creates an atmosphere of openness that can feel both liberating and intimidating. Sagittarius does not believe in emotional performance. They see little value in pretending, withholding, or reshaping the truth to make it more palatable. For them, emotional honesty is not merely a preference, but a moral principle. Sagittarius values truth above comfort, and this value system profoundly shapes their behavior as a spouse. They would rather face temporary discomfort than live inside a lie. This means that issues in the marriage rarely remain hidden for long. If something feels off, Sagittarius will address it directly. If something brings joy, enthusiasm, or pride, they will express it without reservation. Their emotional signals are clear, strong, and difficult to misinterpret. With Sagittarius, there is little guesswork involved in understanding where you stand. They are not inclined toward emotional games or passive-aggressive behavior. Subtle manipulation feels foreign to them and even distasteful. Sagittarius prefers clarity, even when clarity leads to conflict. They do not test their partner's loyalty through silence, nor do they expect their partner to read between the lines. This straightforwardness can be deeply refreshing in a marriage, especially for partners who value transparency and direct communication. When something is wrong, Sagittarius does not hide it behind polite smiles or emotional distance. Their discomfort tends to surface quickly, often in the form of honest conversation or visible restlessness. They believe that unresolved emotions create stagnation, and stagnation is something they instinctively resist. Addressing problems directly feels, to them, like an act of care rather than confrontation. When Sagittarius is happy, their joy is equally unmistakable. They express positive emotions with enthusiasm, warmth, and openness. Their happiness tends to radiate outward, influencing the emotional climate of the marriage. Laughter, excitement, and verbal affirmation flow naturally when they feel fulfilled. This emotional visibility can create a strong sense of connection, as their partner rarely has to question whether they are loved or appreciated in moments of harmony. However, this level of transparency can also be challenging. Sagittarius often speaks before fully considering the emotional impact of their words. Their honesty, while sincere, may arrive without cushioning. What they view as a simple truth may land as a sharp blow to a more sensitive partner. These moments are rarely driven by cruelty or disregard, but by an unwavering belief that honesty is inherently respectful. Sagittarius may unintentionally hurt their partner with blunt truths or poorly timed honesty. They often assume that truth, once spoken, will ultimately strengthen the relationship. What they sometimes overlook is the emotional readiness of the person receiving it. Timing, tone, and emotional context are not always intuitive to Sagittarius, especially when they feel compelled to express something immediately. Despite these missteps, Sagittarius does not usually intend to wound. Their motivation is rarely to criticize or dominate. More often, they believe they are offering clarity, insight, or a necessary reality check. In their worldview, withholding truth feels more harmful than delivering it bluntly. This belief can create tension in marriage if their partner interprets honesty as insensitivity rather than respect. For Sagittarius, truth represents trust. Speaking openly is their way of saying, "I take this relationship seriously enough to be real with you." They equate honesty with equality, believing that their partner deserves the full, unedited version of their thoughts and feelings. This approach can foster deep intimacy when both partners share similar values around communication. In a healthy marriage, Sagittarius gradually learns that honesty alone is not enough. They begin to understand that compassion and timing are essential companions to truth. With emotional maturity, Sagittarius discovers that a truth delivered gently can be just as authentic as one delivered bluntly, and far more effective in preserving emotional safety. This learning process often involves slowing down. Sagittarius must learn to pause, reflect, and consider how their words might be received. This does not mean censoring themselves, but rather refining their expression. When they master this balance, their honesty becomes a powerful tool for healing rather than harm. At the same time, their partner plays an equally important role in this emotional dynamic. Being married to Sagittarius requires a degree of emotional resilience. Their partner must learn not to take every statement personally, especially in moments when Sagittarius is processing thoughts out loud. Not every blunt remark is a final judgment. Often, it is simply part of their internal exploration. Sagittarius tends to think and feel in real time. They often verbalize thoughts as they are forming them, which can make their emotional expressions feel raw or unpolished. Understanding this can help their partner distinguish between temporary emotional reactions and deeply held beliefs. When mutual understanding develops, this emotional style can become one of the marriage's greatest strengths. Conflicts are addressed openly rather than buried. Resentments are less likely to fester in silence. Emotional honesty, once tempered with empathy, creates a relationship built on trust and authenticity. Sagittarius thrives in a marriage where they are not punished for telling the truth. If their honesty is met with excessive defensiveness or emotional withdrawal, they may begin to shut down or soften their voice artificially, which feels deeply uncomfortable to them. Emotional freedom is essential for them to remain fully present in the relationship. At their best, Sagittarius becomes a spouse who speaks truth with wisdom rather than impulse. They learn that love is not compromised by sensitivity, and that emotional intelligence enhances, rather than limits, authenticity. When this balance is achieved, their emotional honesty becomes a source of clarity, growth, and deep connection. Ultimately, Sagittarius offers an emotional style in marriage that is vivid, real, and uncompromisingly sincere. Loving them means embracing truth in its raw form while shaping it into something that can be shared without harm. When both partners grow into this dynamic together, honesty transforms from a potential fault into a powerful foundation for lasting intimacy. Freedom and commitment, a delicate balance. One of the most persistent misconceptions about Sagittarius is the belief that they are afraid of commitment. This misunderstanding arises from their visible need for movement, independence, and personal autonomy. In truth, Sagittarius does not fear commitment itself, they fear losing their sense of identity within it. Marriage, to them, must not erase individuality or suppress personal evolution. They are willing to commit deeply, but only when they believe that commitment will allow them to remain fully themselves. Sagittarius experiences life as a process of continual becoming. Their identity is not fixed, but expanding, shaped by ideas, experiences, and personal discoveries. In marriage, they need space not as a form of emotional withdrawal, but as a condition for psychological health. This space allows them to think freely, question beliefs, explore interests, and pursue growth without feeling monitored or restrained. Without it, they may feel internally fragmented, even if the relationship appears stable on the surface. Personal freedom is essential to Sagittarius because it fuels their vitality. They require time alone to reflect, time apart to gain perspective, and freedom of thought to remain mentally alive. This does not mean they are emotionally unavailable. On the contrary, when their independence is respected, they often become more present, engaged, and generous within the marriage. Freedom, for Sagittarius, is not the opposite of love. It is the environment in which love thrives. A successful marriage with Sagittarius is built on trust rather than control. They respond positively to partners who believe in them and allow them to move freely without constant reassurance. Trust communicates respect, and respect is foundational to Sagittarius' capacity for long-term devotion. When they sense that their partner trusts their intentions, choices, and loyalty, they feel safe enough to invest fully in the relationship. Control, however, has the opposite effect. Jealousy, suspicion, or possessiveness quickly disrupt Sagittarius' sense of emotional safety. They experience such behaviors as attempts to limit or define them, which triggers resistance rather than reassurance. Over time, even subtle forms of control can erode their affection, not through dramatic rebellion, but through quiet emotional distancing. Sagittarius is particularly sensitive to excessive dependence. When a partner relies on them for constant validation, direction, or emotional stability, Sagittarius may feel burdened rather than bonded. They believe that two whole individuals create a stronger marriage than two incomplete ones clinging to each other for security. Independence, in their eyes, strengthens connection rather than weakening it. Despite their need for freedom, Sagittarius is capable of deep loyalty. When they feel trusted and respected, their commitment becomes steady and sincere. They may not cling, hover, or constantly reaffirm their devotion, but their loyalty is expressed through presence and reliability. They show up when it matters, stand by their partner during difficult times, and remain invested in the shared path forward. Sagittarius does not always express love in traditional or conventional ways. Grand romantic gestures or rigid expressions of devotion may feel unnatural to them. Instead, their love is demonstrated through consistency of action, intellectual companionship, and shared goals. They commit by choosing the relationship again and again, even as both partners evolve. Their support often takes the form of encouragement rather than protection. Sagittarius wants their partner to grow, succeed, and expand just as much as they do. They are often the spouse who pushes their partner to take risks, pursue dreams, or question limiting beliefs. This support reflects their long-term commitment to the person their partner is becoming, not just who they are now. A shared vision of the future is especially important to Sagittarius. They may resist detailed plans or rigid timelines, but they need to feel that both partners are moving in the same general direction. Commitment, for them, is about alignment rather than obligation. When the future feels mutually inspiring, Sagittarius remains deeply invested. Sagittarius' approach to commitment is philosophical rather than possessive. They believe love should be chosen freely, not enforced through fear or control. This belief shapes how they behave as a spouse. They expect loyalty to arise from genuine connection, not from rules or restrictions. When love is voluntary, they believe it becomes more authentic and enduring. When misunderstood, Sagittarius may be labeled as unreliable or detached. In reality, their commitment simply looks different. They may need periodic solitude or independence to reconnect with themselves, after which they often return to the relationship with renewed clarity and affection. This rhythm is natural to them and essential for emotional balance. Learning to honor this rhythm is key to a successful marriage with Sagittarius. A partner who understands that distance does not equal disinterest will find Sagittarius increasingly devoted. When their need for freedom is met without judgment, they feel emotionally safe enough to deepen their commitment. Over time, Sagittarius often matures into a spouse who skillfully balances independence with responsibility. They learn that commitment does not require self-erasure, and that freedom can coexist with loyalty. This realization allows them to fully embody both aspects without inner conflict. At their best, Sagittarius demonstrates that commitment does not have to be restrictive to be real. They offer a model of marriage built on mutual respect, shared growth, and trust in each other's integrity. Their loyalty may be quiet rather than possessive, but it is grounded in choice, belief, and shared purpose. Sagittarius in conflict, philosophy over drama. When conflict arises in marriage, Sagittarius instinctively reaches for understanding rather than emotional escalation. Their first impulse is rarely to argue for the sake of emotional release. Instead, they want to talk, analyze, and contextualize what has gone wrong. They approach disagreement as a puzzle to be solved, not a battlefield to be conquered. This tendency comes from their deeply philosophical nature, which seeks meaning and causation even in emotionally charged situations. Sagittarius often frames conflict through questions rather than accusations. They want to know why something happened, what led to it, and how it fits into the larger picture of the relationship. Feelings matter to them, but they are not always the primary entry point. They believe that understanding the root cause will naturally resolve the emotional fallout. This approach can make them appear calm, detached, or even aloof when their partner is experiencing strong emotions. This intellectual orientation in conflict is not a lack of care, but a method of coping. Sagittarius trusts reason as a stabilizing force. When emotions run high, they instinctively step back in order to think clearly. They believe that emotional intensity, if left unchecked, can distort truth and lead to unnecessary damage. Their goal is not to suppress feelings, but to prevent them from overwhelming the conversation. However, this preference for logic over emotional expression can create misunderstandings in marriage. A partner who seeks emotional validation first may feel unheard or minimized. Sagittarius may unintentionally give the impression that they are more interested in being right than in being emotionally present. In reality, they are attempting to protect the relationship from chaos by restoring order through understanding. Sagittarius has a strong aversion to prolonged tension. Lingering conflict feels oppressive to them, draining their energy and sense of optimism. They prefer to address issues quickly and move forward. This urgency often stems from their desire to keep the relationship dynamic and unburdened by resentment. They want problems resolved, not preserved. At times, this desire for resolution can lead them to rush the process. They may seek closure before emotions have been fully processed, believing that talking it through once should be enough. When their partner needs more time or emotional acknowledgement, Sagittarius may become impatient or confused, unsure why the issue still lingers. If pushed into emotional corners, Sagittarius may resort to escape mechanisms. Humor is one of their most common tools. They may joke, lighten the mood, or deflect seriousness in an attempt to diffuse tension. While this can sometimes help, it can also feel dismissive to a partner who is seeking depth and emotional engagement. Distance is another strategy Sagittarius may use under pressure. This does not always mean physical absence, but emotional withdrawal. They may become quieter, less responsive, or mentally elsewhere. Avoidance is not their ideal solution, but it can emerge when they feel overwhelmed by emotional intensity they do not know how to navigate. These reactions are rarely manipulative. More often, they reflect Sagittarius' discomfort with emotional confinement. When conflict becomes emotionally heavy without a clear path toward resolution, they may feel trapped. Their instinct is to regain freedom by stepping away, even temporarily. In marriage, one of the most important lessons for Sagittarius is learning to stay present during emotional discomfort. This requires resisting the urge to intellectualize or escape before their partner feels fully heard. Emotional presence does not come naturally to them in moments of heightened tension, but it is a skill they can develop with awareness and intention. When Sagittarius learns to remain emotionally engaged, even when it feels uncomfortable, their true wisdom emerges. They become capable of blending logic with empathy, offering both understanding and emotional validation. This balance transforms their approach to conflict from merely effective to deeply healing. With maturity, Sagittarius begins to recognize that emotions are not obstacles to resolution, but part of the solution. They learn that allowing space for feelings does not negate rational discussion, it enriches it. When they embrace this perspective, conflicts become opportunities for deeper connection rather than threats to harmony. Sagittarius is naturally fair-minded. Once emotionally grounded, they are remarkably capable of seeing both sides of any situation. They are willing to admit mistakes, revise opinions, and acknowledge their partner's perspective when they feel safe to do so. This openness makes them strong partners in long-term conflict resolution. They are not interested in winning arguments. Their true aim is alignment and understanding. When both partners feel seen and respected, Sagittarius is usually eager to move forward without resentment. They do not hold grudges easily, especially when conflicts are addressed honestly. Their philosophical approach allows them to contextualize conflict within the larger narrative of the relationship. They tend to ask whether an issue reflects a deeper pattern or a temporary imbalance. This long-view perspective can prevent small disagreements from escalating into lasting divisions. At their best, Sagittarius becomes a stabilizing presence during conflict. They bring clarity where there is confusion and perspective where emotions feel overwhelming. Their ability to step back and see the broader picture can help the marriage navigate challenges without losing sight of shared values and goals. Optimal zodiac signs for business and practical partnerships. From a business or practical standpoint within marriage, Sagittarius functions best when paired with signs that can balance their expansive vision with structure, discipline, and follow-through. Sagittarius naturally thinks in terms of possibilities, growth, and future horizons. They are idea-driven, opportunity-focused, and motivated by potential rather than immediate practicality. While this makes them excellent initiators, they often benefit from partners who can translate inspiration into sustainable systems. In marriage, especially when finances, joint projects, or long-term responsibilities are involved, this balance becomes essential. Capricorn stands out as one of the most optimal signs for business-oriented partnerships with Sagittarius. Capricorn brings a grounded, disciplined approach that complements Sagittarius' visionary nature. Where Sagittarius sees what could be, Capricorn sees what must be done. This contrast, when respected, creates a powerful synergy. Capricorn provides structure, planning, and realism, while Sagittarius contributes creativity, optimism, and a willingness to expand beyond conventional limits. In a marital business context, Capricorn often takes responsibility for timelines, budgets, and long-term strategies. They are comfortable with responsibility and understand the value of patience and persistence. Sagittarius, on the other hand, keeps the partnership from becoming stagnant or overly cautious. They introduce new ideas, challenge outdated methods, and encourage calculated expansion. Together, they can create ventures that are both ambitious and stable. Capricorn's natural sense of accountability helps anchor Sagittarius' enthusiasm. While Sagittarius may become excited by multiple possibilities at once, Capricorn helps prioritize and focus energy into one viable direction. This prevents wasted effort and enhances productivity. Sagittarius, in turn, prevents Capricorn from becoming overly conservative or resistant to innovation. Their influence encourages growth beyond safe boundaries. Mutual respect is critical in this pairing. Sagittarius must respect Capricorn's need for structure, even when it feels restrictive, while Capricorn must respect Sagittarius' need for creative freedom and experimentation. When this respect is present, the partnership can thrive both emotionally and materially. Over time, they learn to trust each other's strengths rather than viewing differences as obstacles. Virgo represents another strong match for Sagittarius in practical and business-related aspects of marriage. While these two signs operate very differently, their differences can be highly complementary. Virgo is detail-oriented, analytical, and methodical. They excel at organization, precision, and problem-solving. Sagittarius, by contrast, focuses on the bigger picture, long-term goals, and conceptual frameworks. In shared responsibilities, Virgo naturally assumes the role of refining and optimizing systems. They notice inconsistencies, inefficiencies, and potential risks that Sagittarius may overlook in their excitement. This grounding influence helps ensure that plans are not only visionary, but also functional and sustainable. Sagittarius benefits greatly from Virgo's ability to bring clarity and order to complex ideas. Sagittarius, in turn, plays a crucial role in expanding Virgo's perspective. Virgo can sometimes become overly cautious, critical, or focused on flaws. Sagittarius encourages Virgo to step back, see the broader context, and take calculated risks. They remind Virgo that perfection is not always necessary for progress, and that growth often requires boldness. In business matters within marriage, this dynamic creates balance. Virgo ensures that daily operations run smoothly, while Sagittarius keeps the long-term vision alive. Virgo asks how things will work in practice. Sagittarius asks where they could lead in the future. Together, these questions form a complete strategy. Communication is essential for this pairing to succeed. Sagittarius must learn to appreciate Virgo's critiques as constructive rather than limiting. Virgo must learn not to interpret Sagittarius' enthusiasm as carelessness. When both understand that their approaches serve a common goal, productivity increases significantly. This partnership thrives when responsibilities are clearly defined. Virgo feels most comfortable when roles and expectations are explicit, while Sagittarius thrives when given autonomy within those boundaries. Clear agreements allow both to operate at their best without frustration or misunderstanding. In both Capricorn and Virgo pairings, Sagittarius benefits from partners who offer stability without suppressing creativity. These signs provide frameworks within which Sagittarius can expand freely. Rather than feeling constrained, Sagittarius often feels supported by this structure when it is applied with respect. From a long-term perspective, these combinations are particularly effective for building lasting success. Capricorn contributes endurance and strategic foresight, while Virgo contributes efficiency and precision. Sagittarius contributes momentum, innovation, and optimism. Each partner fills gaps the other naturally leaves open. These partnerships demonstrate that Sagittarius does not need to sacrifice freedom to achieve practical success in marriage. Instead, they need partners who understand how to channel their expansive energy productively. When vision meets structure, ambition meets discipline, and enthusiasm meets strategy, the result is a marriage capable of building something meaningful, stable, and profitable over time. Challenging and negative zodiac matches in marriage. Not all zodiac matches unfold smoothly for Sagittarius, particularly within the context of marriage, where emotional needs, daily habits, and long-term expectations become deeply intertwined. Sagittarius thrives on openness, independence, and forward movement, and when paired with signs whose core needs move in a different direction, tension can arise not from lack of love, but from fundamentally different emotional languages. These mismatches often reveal themselves gradually, through everyday interactions rather than dramatic conflict. Cancer is one of the more challenging signs for Sagittarius in marriage. Cancer seeks emotional security as a foundation for everything else in the relationship. They crave reassurance, emotional closeness, and a sense of being needed and prioritized. For Cancer, love is expressed through nurturing, emotional presence, and consistent affirmation. Marriage, to Cancer, is a sanctuary, a place of emotional safety and deep bonding. Sagittarius, by contrast, values independence and emotional freedom. They express love through honesty, encouragement, and shared experiences rather than constant emotional reinforcement. While they care deeply, they do not naturally provide the level of reassurance Cancer often needs. This difference can create a painful disconnect. Cancer may begin to feel emotionally neglected or unimportant, interpreting Sagittarius' need for space as a lack of love. From Sagittarius' perspective, Cancer's emotional intensity can feel overwhelming. The constant need for reassurance may feel restrictive, as though emotional closeness is being enforced rather than chosen. Sagittarius may feel constrained by what they perceive as emotional dependency, even when Cancer's intentions are rooted in love and vulnerability. Misunderstandings easily arise in this pairing. Cancer may retreat into emotional withdrawal or passive behavior when feeling hurt, hoping Sagittarius will intuitively respond. Sagittarius, however, does not naturally read emotional subtext and may miss these cues entirely. This can deepen Cancer's sense of loneliness while Sagittarius remains unaware of the emotional damage occurring beneath the surface. Over time, Sagittarius may feel pressured to perform emotional roles that do not align with their nature. They may struggle with guilt for wanting space, while Cancer struggles with fear of abandonment. Without conscious effort and clear communication, both partners can feel unseen and emotionally misunderstood. Another challenging match for Sagittarius in marriage is Taurus. Taurus values stability, routine, and predictability. They find comfort in consistency and derive security from established patterns. Marriage, for Taurus, is about building something solid, dependable, and enduring. They take pride in reliability and often measure commitment through tangible consistency. Sagittarius, on the other hand, thrives on change, exploration, and adaptability. They are energized by new ideas, new experiences, and the freedom to evolve. Routine, while necessary at times, can feel stifling if it becomes too dominant. This fundamental difference in tempo can create ongoing friction within the marriage. Taurus may view Sagittarius as unreliable or inconsistent, especially if Sagittarius frequently changes plans, goals, or directions. What Sagittarius sees as flexibility and growth, Taurus may see as instability. This difference in perception can erode trust if not openly addressed. Sagittarius, in turn, may see Taurus as stubborn, resistant to change, or overly attached to comfort zones. Taurus' reluctance to deviate from familiar routines may feel limiting to Sagittarius, who thrives on momentum and forward movement. Over time, Sagittarius may feel slowed down or confined by Taurus' need for predictability. Conflicts in this pairing often center around lifestyle choices, finances, and long-term planning. Taurus prefers steady accumulation and cautious decision-making, while Sagittarius may favor risk, expansion, or experiential investments. Without compromise, these differences can lead to frustration and repeated disagreements. Emotional expression can also differ significantly. Taurus tends to show love through physical presence, consistency, and material support. Sagittarius expresses love through ideas, inspiration, and shared vision. Both may feel unappreciated if their efforts are not recognized in the language the other understands. Without mutual flexibility, this pairing can struggle with unmet expectations. Taurus may feel that Sagittarius does not fully commit to building stability, while Sagittarius may feel that Taurus does not support growth or change. Each partner may begin to feel that they are carrying the relationship in incompatible directions. In both Cancer and Taurus pairings, the core issue is not incompatibility of affection, but incompatibility of emotional and lifestyle priorities. Sagittarius needs space, movement, and intellectual freedom. Cancer needs emotional closeness and reassurance. Taurus needs stability and predictability. When these needs clash without conscious compromise, dissatisfaction grows. For Sagittarius, these relationships can feel emotionally or energetically limiting over time. They may begin to suppress their natural impulses in order to maintain harmony, which can lead to inner restlessness or quiet resentment. Meanwhile, Cancer or Taurus may feel that their needs are constantly secondary to Sagittarius' independence. These matches are not impossible, but they require significant emotional maturity, communication, and mutual adaptation. Without these elements, marriage can become a cycle of misunderstanding and frustration. Sagittarius may feel misunderstood and constrained, while their partner feels insecure or unsupported. The true purpose of marriage for Sagittarius. For Sagittarius, marriage is not defined by tradition, social expectation, or rigid obligation. They do not enter marriage to fulfill a role or conform to an external model of success. Instead, they seek meaning. Marriage, in their eyes, must serve a deeper purpose, one rooted in shared values, mutual growth, and a sense of direction that extends beyond the present moment. Without this sense of purpose, the institution itself feels empty, regardless of stability or comfort. Sagittarius views marriage as a philosophical partnership. They want a spouse who is willing to question life alongside them, to explore ideas, beliefs, and possibilities together. This sign is driven by a search for truth, and they need a partner who is not threatened by curiosity or differing perspectives. Agreement is less important to them than engagement. They want dialogue, exploration, and intellectual companionship woven into the fabric of daily life. A Sagittarius partner desires growth as a shared experience. Personal development is not something they pursue in isolation. They want their spouse to evolve alongside them. This does not mean growing in the same direction or at the same pace, but growing with mutual awareness and support. Stagnation within marriage feels deeply unsettling to Sagittarius, while shared evolution feels deeply fulfilling. They are drawn to partners who challenge their ideas rather than simply affirm them. Sagittarius respects strength of mind and independence of thought. A spouse who can question their assumptions, offer new perspectives, or broaden their worldview earns their deepest respect. This intellectual stimulation keeps the marriage alive and prevents complacency from settling in. Walking beside them through life's questions is essential. Sagittarius is not content with surface-level living. They ponder purpose, morality, faith, ambition, and the nature of happiness. They want a partner who is willing to engage in these conversations, not necessarily with answers, but with openness. Marriage becomes the space where these explorations are shared rather than solitary. At their best, Sagittarius in marriage is deeply inspiring. They naturally encourage their partner to see beyond limitations, to believe in possibilities that once felt out of reach. They are often the voice that says, "You can do more," or "There is another way." This encouragement is not rooted in pressure, but in genuine belief in their partner's potential. Loyalty, for Sagittarius, is expressed through belief and consistency rather than possession. When they commit to the person's journey, not just the relationship structure. They remain supportive through change, trusting that evolution strengthens rather than threatens the bond. Their loyalty is anchored in shared purpose rather than fear of loss. Sagittarius often believes in their partner's potential before their partner does. They see possibilities that others may overlook and are quick to point out hidden strengths. This unwavering faith can be transformative, especially for partners who doubt themselves. Sagittarius takes pride in standing beside someone as they grow into their fullest expression. When Sagittarius feels aligned with their spouse, marriage becomes a source of joy rather than obligation. Daily life feels lighter, infused with humor, curiosity, and optimism. Even challenges are approached as shared adventures rather than burdens. Alignment creates a sense of flow that allows Sagittarius to fully invest without feeling restricted. In such alignment, marriage becomes expansive. It encourages exploration, whether through travel, learning, creative pursuits, or personal growth. Sagittarius feels energized by the relationship rather than confined by it. Love becomes a source of inspiration that fuels their desire to experience life more fully. Laughter is abundant in a Sagittarius marriage that is aligned. Humor is one of their primary expressions of love and connection. They use laughter to bond, to heal, and to bring perspective to difficult moments. A marriage without laughter feels heavy to them, while one filled with shared amusement feels deeply intimate. The future, for Sagittarius, must feel open rather than predetermined. They are uncomfortable with rigid scripts that dictate exactly how life should unfold. Marriage should feel like an open road, offering direction without limiting possibility. They want to move forward together without knowing every detail of what lies ahead. Loving a Sagittarius means embracing change as a natural part of the relationship. They will not remain the same person year after year, and they do not expect their partner to remain unchanged either. Change, to them, is evidence of life being fully lived. A partner who resists this may feel left behind, while one who embraces it becomes a true companion. Trusting the journey is essential when loving Sagittarius. They may not always have a clear plan, but they have a strong sense of direction rooted in values and intuition. They need a partner who can walk beside them without demanding certainty at every step. Sagittarius' heart is always reaching for something higher, a deeper truth, a broader perspective, a more meaningful existence. Marriage, at its best, becomes the space where this longing is shared rather than restrained. They want to reach upward together, not alone. When marriage honors this purpose, Sagittarius becomes a devoted, generous, and emotionally present partner. They give not out of obligation, but out of genuine belief in the shared path. Their love feels free, expansive, and alive. Ultimately, the true purpose of marriage for Sagittarius is alignment of vision and spirit. It is about two individuals choosing to grow, question, and explore life together while honoring each other's independence. When this purpose is fulfilled, marriage becomes not a destination, but an ongoing journey, one filled with meaning, freedom, and shared discovery.